Alright, now the recording is actually up, and we have the team battle. Diaz versus Scarlet Hearts. And NeoBuster is starting for us, and he's up against Gold Paladins. That starter upsets me because I have a feeling I know what Sirvat is doing with that deck. That's a glare build, isn't it?
Probably.
Does NeoBuster know how to deal with that? I mean, he should watch me use it all the time, but I don't think he actually knows how to deal with it. Funny
Maybe, maybe
enough,
not.
his deck soft counters it, like, really
Yeah.
well, actually. I say soft counter because the only hard counters for it are um Kagero and for this particular build Link Joker because you can't put unlocked units into the blue flame builds.
I'd also consider one or two of the Shadow Paladin builds a soft counter, but
Not this version.
not this version.
If it uses Coronagle, then Shadow Paladin soft counter it.
Well, I mean, if you retire Guido, that also puts it also dampers the
True, but
um
that's easier to get back than a booster that gains power every time you superior call.
no,
Between
because you have
two
five of them.
options.
Because you have four or five of them at all given at any given time.
True, but at the start of the round, at the point in which you're gonna use it, you only need one.
Yeah, I guess. Yep, there's Glare. Hi,
Yeah.
Glare.
He rode Percival first, so that's NeoBuster's advantage. It's gonna take some time for him to actually get Glare going the way it's supposed to. And if he rides over it, then he actually is slowing down the deck a little.
Yeah.
Like, if you ride Percival first, you can ride into Glare and do stuff, but you have to set up for it to happen for it to work out that way. And if
Yeah.
you don't do that initial setup, then it becomes a problem. And he's gonna early stride. That's actually a really good idea. I don't think this is the build that uses GB units for anything, but for one, he doesn't need that Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion in hand. That's the important thing. Two, if this does hit, and Servant technically does need the damage, and if he doesn't have a perfect guard in hand, oh, he's no guarding. Okay, so he only has one unit to retire, and and two cards are about to be bound, so he can't actually stride next turn. Not only that, but he can take out two really important units. If I were him, I'd take out the heal trigger and the perfect guard, actually. Unless he's really afraid of getting critted late game.
No, look, I'll be honest. After fighting you so much, these are the units I would have gotten rid of. I've gotten rid of the Perfect Guard and the crit.
I would say the heal trigger just because Glare can stall.
Yes, I know I can.
Glare can
But,
stall if you know what you're doing. And NeoBuster went for both triggers. He's not bothering with the perfect guard.
yeah, well, it's still a good idea.
No, it's a good idea because you want the heal triggers gone. The less of those gone, the... Wow. That is desperate.
Very.
That is desperate. I'm sorry, I can't think of another word for that other than desperate.
He's like, I really want to Legion.
No, it's not even that. It's like I really, really want these heals in my deck.
I honestly would have just kept them and dropped the Glare for Stride. I would have
To be
Campbell.
honest, within this situation, because NeoBuster's at 2 damage, that's the much better option. Actually, it's because they're both at 2 damage, that's the better option.
Yeah. I've only played Gold Paladin very little bit, but I do kind of know what the fuck to do with them. Which
Hi.
is,
And there's
hi.
Rose.
Did y'all
Yes, it
start?
started. Yes,
Fuck.
It's the
we're
first
in the
game,
forest.
so you have funny timing. You've done this before, actually.
Yes, I have. I didn't think y'all started.
Called Bruno
I
and
don't,
Legions.
I don't understand why you're calling it there.
Because he wants the
Oh.
Vanguard to have a really powerful attack. Then again, NeoBuster checked a perfect guard in the triple check.
Han, where the fuck are
Yeah,
you going?
which he doesn't really need to use right here. But with Glare, I always perfect guard early,
Well,
unless I just don't think
In
perfect
Glare
guards.
decks, it's just better to perfect guard early because you can't use them when Glare comes out anyway.
Yeah,
as a Prominence Glare user, and I'm not even gonna say about my actual ability with the deck because I'm not gonna stroke my own ego, but the main things you want to look out for in this match is you want to look at his damage, how many are flipped, how many are unflipped, and you want to look at his field to see what is there and what he can do with what's there. Oh, also another reason why Bruno's behind Vanguard is because fighting Draco Kid.
I mean, I guess.
If you put it in a rear circle, he's leaving it open to be killed by that thing.
I would have perfect guarded right there.
It's a good idea, but at the same time, keep in mind he runs a Limit Break 4 deck.
With limit enablers in it.
But he doesn't have one yet.
Narukami have limit removers?
Yeah, they got them in set 17 when limit removers were first introduced. Basically, everything that was in set 17 has a limit remover. All that was in set 17 were Gold Paladins, Link Joker, Narukami, Aquaforce, and Kagero.
I want my limit remover.
Also Grand Blue. Forgot about Grand Blue.
Fuck
Wait,
Grand
they got a
Blue.
limit remover?
Yeah, they have one.
I knew they did.
What about Nova Grappler? I know Nova Grappler has one, but
they got it in G1.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Actually,
Dimension leaks do.
Well, they're supposed to get one in the next extra box, but because it was already leaked, it's in area already.
Oh. I just want, like, my Regalia limit remover. And we have Stride.
Between set 3 and set 4, Regalia should get... Well, not Regalia specifically, but Genesis should get support. And the next time Genesis gets support, then they're getting a limit remover. Because Bushiroad already announced everybody gets one.
So he's using Conquest, but you didn't call anything to the left front rear circle?
That skill is everything gets everything in the front row. Oh, it's an
all turn thing.
Yeah,
it's
it
an
doesn't.
Thing. Okay.
It doesn't target the units in the front row. It just says everything in the front row.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
So that was actually fine.
That was okay. I just wasn't quite clear.
Also, Reese doesn't get its plus 3k because it's not in Legion. He's attacking with a rear guard first. I have no idea why.
He's gonna try to force damage.
I understand, but if he's not running stands, there's really not much reason for that. Unless he... That's 27, by the way.
No, it's not.
He has a... Vermilion Vanguard.
It doesn't have Vermilion.
I thought it just said Kaiser Vanguard.
No, because if that was the case, you could tech it into just about anything that has Kaiser in the name.
How many cards have Kaiser in the name?
There's a couple in, Dimensional Police.
Oh, no, Die Kaiser doesn't count.
It does. It has Kaiser in its name.
Sure does.
It has Die as part of the name.
It's still a Kaiser.
Not that we can mix clans anyways.
Yeah, Kaiser Nova. You said the specification was Kaiser. It's the same thing as Rebirth. It still counts for Glindios.
It does?
Yes,
I thought it had to be
does.
Reverse.
No, as long as it has that backwards R in its name,
basically it's everything that has backwards R, because backwards R is reverse. So it's basically the reverse rebirth. So basically Dragonic Overlord is Dragonic Overlord the reverse rebirth.
I just said that.
So yeah, it's literally the reverse. It's the reverse rebirth.
You're an idiot. You don't have to keep tacking on to the same thing.
And we have Glare.
Wow, he has 5 damage.
That is a lot of counterblast to use.
He actually has a perfect Glare setup, so unless NeoBuster has the hand for this, he might have lost.
We know that he has 2 grade 0s, one of them being a draw trigger, one of them being a 10k from last turn's check. But other than that...
He also has 2
intercepts. Yeah. But
so
other than that...
it's not impossible.
Nope.
Unfortunately, he dropped a draw trigger to actually attack. I'm guessing that's one of the tactics you taught him.
Who, me?
Yes.
Yes, you.
Yes, it is. That's the saddest fact, because I do it with my Shadow Paladin deck. If you look at my Shadow Paladin deck,
I can
I
imagine
will.
Mythos and NeoBuster just on a mountain talking about this and just saying, "Alright, NeoBuster, when in doubt, fuck it, call triggers."
When in doubt, call the
When in,
triggers.
when in doubt, call them triggers, bitch.
So
Wow.
What?
he's forcing.
He needed to do that to get 4 and drop. He
He's forcing
wants it
legions. But
that bad.
damn.
No, you didn't see what he did the first time he had to force Legion. He literally had to guard 10k to pass because he let Zorus hit, and it bound 2 cards, so he only had 2 in drop. He dropped 2 heal triggers from his hand to get Legion.
Wow.
On a 16k attack.
Yeah, on the 16k attack.
Wow.
Just a Legion.
He really wanted that Legion.
So we have Guido.
So unless I noticed that Sirvat only has 1 card in hand now. If that's not a grade 3. Well, first
That's
of all,
not a blue.
that's not a grade 3. I wonder why he played Glare in the first place. I'm gonna say
the
that
fuck?
now.
Army of Bruno! And I'm echoing.
Yes. Yes, you are. I believe Noah.
It's got nothing to do with me.
It's got.
There it is.
So drops.
Okay, so he
for
did
glare
drop one.
skill. That explosion blue. I thought it was Azure explosion.
No,
It's
when
actually called
I
Explosion.
when I do it, it's Azure Explosion.
Oh, it's when you do it. It's Azure explosion.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. 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 See, it's been a while since I've seen the Legion arc, so I don't remember what Guyard called it.
He called it Explosion Blue, which is a dumb name.
You're a dumb name.
See,
I like Azure explosion better than explosion blue.
Exactly.
He's French. Leave him alone.
Okay, but
How
he
do you
didn't
say
go.
blue
But he
in
didn't go to the cordon bleu.
Oh my god, you went there. Why? I eat cordon bleu.
That's upsetting. Okay, so 33k crit to Vanguard.
I just realized that this
21,
is probably a 12
31,
crit deck.
41.
Okay, he was ready. He was
He
ready.
was ready!
He said, no, fuck that shit, I'm out.
Wait, grade 3
Sirvat
and
just
a grade
lost.
can't
Sirvat just
guard.
lost.
By the way, what's the setup for this?
It's a gunslinger
It is
4 versus
4v4
4.
gunslinger.
Okay. And knowing that he just lost, he goes for the rear. It's going for the rear again.
You can't perfect guard the rear guards with that. I like how I said it before it happened. Wait.
I know.
Wait.
Really.
Wait. Is Sirvat gonna allow that? Okay. NeoBuster caught it. NeoBuster caught it.
That's why I don't use those perfect guards.
I don't
Unless I really need to.
For NeoBuster's deck, I don't know how much counterblast he actually uses in this deck at any given time. But at the same time, the only units he really gives half a shit about are the Vanguard anyway, in terms of what gets attacked and when.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't have special perfect guards yet. Even if I did, though, I wouldn't use it.
Well, Rose, you don't use a lot of counterblast.
That too.
She does now.
I do now.
Well, you've started to.
It's not that much, though, still.
So puts back 3 crits in Vermilion just to make sure there's a Vermilion in deck.
I'm pretty sure he checked one last turn.
All the more reason to put one back to be sure. Because I think he only does... there we go. Because he only does 3 Vermilion, 3... or at least I believe this is what it is. Is 3 Vermilion, 3 Crimson, and... Oh, by the way, he doesn't need the Soul Blast, but he's going to do it because I taught him to count the numbers.
Soul Blast?
He doesn't... basically, Crimson skill, it can Soul Blast 1 and give itself 2,000 power.
Oh, I see.
So it puts what would be 24 because of the limit break. It makes it into 26, which is a better number.
Oh, yeah, it is. All right, so that's the end of this match.
Yep, and unfortunately for Sirvat, he had no way out of that. On to game 2.
Go, Buster.